Hello, parishioners of Sacred Heart. Father Andrew Dickinson, your pastor, here from my office at Sacred Heart Catholic Church. I hope you're doing well and preparing for the coming of Christmas in 2020. As we've been going through this ongoing pandemic of COVID-19, one of the big questions in everyone's mind, of course, has been what to do about Christmas. Because usually we think of Christmas at church, we think of Christmas crowds. It's been a thought on my mind and many people's minds. And so I just want to give a short little message to you to talk about Christmas Mass times here at Sacred Heart. And also maybe a little encouragement for your Advent devotions and a little encouragement for your Christmas time at home. So about Mass times here at Sacred Heart, I hope you received our letter from a few weeks ago at the beginning of Advent, which we explained to you that we're going to add a Mass time here at Sacred Heart. Our Holy Father, Pope Francis, has given parishes around the world permission to allow earlier Vigil Masses for Christmas, because Vigil Masses are such an important thing in our culture these days. So we're having a Mass not just at a normal 4 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock on Christmas Eve. We added a Mass at 2 p.m. on the Vigil of Christmas Eve. We're adding this 2 o'clock Mass to hope that it can help to thin out the crowd at the 4 o'clock. Now, many of you remember from years past, the 4 o'clock is almost standing room only. You have a better memory of that than I do, since I've never been here for a regular 4 o'clock Christmas Eve Mass. And so we want to avoid that situation. The 6 o'clock Mass is often much thinner. Maybe consider going there if 2 o'clock is too early for you. But try and keep those considerations in. Another thing we're going to do is that we're going to have every other pew marked off and roped off so you can't sit there. And that'll hopefully encourage some of that social distancing. Again, we strongly recommend you to use a Mass when you cannot social distance. The parish hall will have the screen on and the sound piped in. So if you get here and it's a little too much maybe to be in that sort of crowded space, go to the parish hall. Very few people have been going to the parish hall. Chairs will be set out. But again, make use of those often lesser attended Masses, the 6 p.m. as well as that 2 p.m. that we're adding. The 10 o'clock can be a little full. Here the 9:30 can be a little full as well. But just try and spread things out. Again, I don't think everyone's going to come rushing back, because there's some people that because they're working with the sick, the elderly, they themselves or one of their family members is at a severe risk, probably might just be making their Christmas devotion remotely. But for those of you that do come, be attentive to that idea. Okay? Now, I'm aware this could backfire on me, and maybe because of my warning, no one shows up to the 4 o'clock Mass, and everyone shows up to the other ones. We get the exact opposite problem. But I don't think that's going to happen either. Basically, what I'm asking you is be patient with us and be generous with others. Okay? Be patient and generous with everyone as we try to just figure out this very crowded and busy time of year in a good way in 2020. I want to give you also a little encouragement for your Advent devotion. I hope your Advent devotions keep going, that you can stay strong to those things. Remember, if you haven't had a chance for a confession before Christmas, make sure you take that opportunity. We're hearing confessions before daily Masses at our usual times on Saturday afternoon at our usual time at 3:30. We're also hearing confessions during the Sunday Masses. The priest who's not offering the Mass is available in the confessional, making that sacrament available. You could just sneak out during my boring homily and go to Father Kaplan for confession if you're like, I keep forgetting to go. We also have confessions available during our Sunday night Vespers, 5 o'clock on the Sundays of Advent, when we have cantors chanting the Psalms. Confessions will be available during that as well in that back southwest corner of the church. Our priests, when they hear confessions, are wearing masks in that way. And then finally, just a little encouragement about some Christmas creativity. So maybe Christmas isn't like it normally is for your family. Maybe you're worried for your kids that don't get to see Grandma and Grandpa, or don't get to go to the family celebration. Well, maybe it's a good time to start some new Christmas traditions. One thing from my family that I look back at fondly now and recognize the intelligence and resourcefulness of my parents, when we would have Christmas Eve, we'd usually go to a Vigil Mass on Christmas Eve and then come home and have our supper. But then after supper, we would open our family presents, right? If our godparents got us a gift or my brother and I exchanged gifts, we would do that on Christmas Eve, and then we'd wait for Santa to come overnight and open those Christmas morning. But before we could open those family gifts on Christmas Eve, my dad had us all sit down and read from the Gospel of Luke, chapter 2, the birth of Jesus. Now, it's just a few short verses, 12 or 20 verses in total, but to this 8-year-old, right, oh my gosh, it would never end. As we got older, we got to read the passage as well. We'd take turns reading parts of it. And so some real, I think, intelligence of my parents there too. Before we do the gifts, remember why we do the gifts. Even though we've just been to Mass, let's draw a little extra attention to it. If I could add one thing to my parents' idea, though, I would encourage you, use a candle and maybe try to read by candlelight. I know maybe we worry about candles with little kids and things like that, but, think about doing just for a little bit. Something about candlelight that just makes things special in a way, and very beautiful. A candle is a living light. These fluorescent lights in my office are a cold artificial light in so many ways. But a candle is alive, right? It's a living flame. And think about a candle that it breathes, right? Taking in air in order to burn. It moves, right, as it burns in some way. And the candle itself dies. Such a beautiful sign and a connection to our own life in that way. And to read something by that candlelight can be a magical experience of faith in Christmas for you and your family. Well, know of our prayers for you here at Sacred Heart Parish, and always let us know if there's any way we can better help you to passionately live the gospel. I'm Father Andrew Dickinson. God bless you.